Cancer. Welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot. Welcome to your cards for July, and happy birthday, Cancer. I do hope that you have a wonderful birthday. I hope that you have a chance to celebrate with all your loved ones. And I hope that you find renewed vitality. This is your time of year. It's time for you to step into the light, to enjoy your accomplishments. It's your actual harvest time. So I do hope you get a chance to embrace that energy all month long. Now, what's amazing for you, Cancer, this month is that we start out the ingress, which I am actually recording today, the sun moving into the sign of Cancer. There is a grand trine between all of the water signs. We have the moon in Scorpio today. We have a sun moving in Cancer, and we still have Jupiter, although stationed, is in the sign of Pisces. Now, this is your first, fifth, and ninth house, and because it's a water trine, there's this very beautiful, easy flow. And this energy is going to stay with you all month long, as well as a new moon in your sign towards the end of the month. So it's actually towards the middle of the month. It's a really exciting and beautiful month, but it's probably not a month where you feel you need to really push yourselves. July is kind of interesting. Now, we had such a tumultuous June, like so much change, so much stuff happening around us. The eclipses, all of the retrogrades, like everything kind of happened. It was all kind of sandwiched into June. And July gets to be a time where we can just sit in our feelings for a little while. And that's what this energy is all about. It's playing a big emphasis on your first, second, and third house, as these personal planets are all kind of clustered here. And these are very foundational houses. These are the foundation of who you are and how you operate and how you associate with others. And it comes from a place of self, and tells me that we're in a place of new development. Now, I know I've been saying it for all of these readings, and I'll continue to say it because 2020 was so powerful, because there was a time where we had to kind of get down to the bare necessities. There was loss, there was heaviness, there was burdens we couldn't bear, there was ways of life we couldn't operate in any longer, and there was change. 2021 has been all about the actual change. And so this energy moves in, and it's kind of like this buffer between now and the end of the year. There's still a lot going on. We're still in the heat of eclipses. We still have the Saturn-Uranus square, which stays with us all year. But we're in a time where we've got to integrate. We've got to figure out, we've gone so far. We've made this journey where, Mercury is coming direct. He'll be out of his shadow by the end of the first week in June. And we start to see new ground. We start to see how far we've come. And I urge everyone to take a moment, from accomplishing. This is not a lot of accomplishment stuff. It's not about how much you crossed off that list, how many achievements you have going on at work. It's Cancer and it's Leo energy, and it's about the heart, it's about the family, it's about being in environments that we love, being in places where our creativity can flow, where we can express ourselves. And it's so important for us to understand this side of our emotional world right now. Structures are changing, whether we like it or not, whether we're ready or not. These structures are changing. We're at a time when the universe is introducing some very karmic stuff, maybe stepping into karmic relationships, stepping out of karmic relationships. There's a lot of cycles that are ending, and we're starting to build the new cycles. And these are things that we're developing, that we're going to be doing for 20 to 40 years. Everything's all new. And it's not an energy where we want to plow through or demand decisions. It's kind of a chance to kind of sit where we are, see how we feel about it, adjust emotionally, learn to trust, learn to feel a little bit safer in our environment, safer in our own judgments, in our own intuition. and start to develop what we truly want to bring in next. What do we want to emotionally experience? What do we want our heart to connect to in this next cycle? So I love this energy for you because this month you're coming out as a Page of Coins. And with this energy, I feel there's a lot of caution here, right? But caution with a good mix of curiosity. I do think that something, someone, maybe a passion, a person, or a situation has kind of caught your interest, piqued your curiosity in a way. And it might just be like universal stuff. Now, like I said, we've got this grand trine, first house, fifth house, ninth house. This is very expansive energy. Some of you might be considering going back to school or investing in some kind of new knowledge. But in order for this to work out, it has to be something that really speaks to your heart. It's not a time for us to go out and be like, oh, well, you know what? Nursing makes a lot of money, so I'm going to go there. It's not about doing the things because it makes you money, okay? There's been a shift in those priorities, and we're no longer functioning really well in the things that we don't really love and desire. So it has to speak to our heart in order for us to want to make an investment. And because you're the Page of Coins, I feel this energy is something that has already appeared in your life in which you want to start to make an investment towards. It could be a lot of different things as well. And ninth house, it could also be interest in travel or interest in broadening your horizons philosophically, religiously, the exploration. And what I love about this Page of Coins, because it is easy, okay, it's the less stubborn of all of the Pentacle cards because it's willing to try the new things. It's willing to start the new projects. It's willing to, you know, somebody says, hey, let's grab a coffee, and you're free flowing, and yeah, let's do that. Let's meet these people. Let's introduce this product. Let's go after this. Let's change that. It's very open. It's very suggestive, but in a way where the knowledge that they take or the knowledge that they're getting is well invested as well. And what I love is the environment or situation is that of the Tower. And this is what I've been saying for the past couple of weeks. We've entered this really karmic period where the universe is starting to put people and situations in front of us, things that we've manifested, things that we've asked for. You know, all of 2020, we're like, oh my God, I just can't do this job anymore. Just, you know, we found ourselves in a place of prayer, probably in a place of kind of leaving it up to the universe, because I do feel like Cancer is one of those signs where you've been learning to kind of work with spirit, learning to trust the process. There's been a lot of lessons in learning to let go, to detach to the things that you truly want and desire, and to learn how to receive the things that you're naturally attracted to. And I think that there's been a separation from ego a lot for my Cancer signs. Now, this is Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, whatever placement you have. These are the things that you've been working out, which is releasing the attachment. And I think the Tower happens when you're ready, when the universe decides that you're ready. It's not really about you. It's not about your circumstances. Maybe you've got a lot going on in your life. Maybe you're getting ready to go back to school. You're starting a new job. You really want your focus to be that. And then boom, the Tower card comes and it says, yeah, but here's something else that you asked for. And the Tower card can be in a disturbance, but it is also something that's divinely guided. It's here to break you out of a pattern or a cycle. It happens to get you out of one way of life and into the next. And when the Tower card shows up, it's not a small amount of change, and it's not something that happens over a long period of time. This is kind of something that walks into your life or presents itself in some way and absolutely changes everything. So, getting to the 9-card block. This first row, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Fool, and the 5 of Swords in reverse. And this energy talks a lot about your growth. And this is what I was saying about the lessons that we've been learning in the idea of detachment itself. This is learning how to stop the resistance. So it's interesting that you're coming out of as a Page of Coins this month, but here we have the Knight of Pentacles. There's already growth. And I think this is an indication that whatever this tower is that catches your eye or causes you to be a little bit curious, it may be causing you to change direction in some way. And the Page of Coins is when things start to get really cautious. This is two energies that I feel are kind of really opposed and probably two different sides of yourself, right? There's this Knight of Pentacles side that's like, oh, don't jump in, don't develop feelings, don't get your hopes up. Let's just cautiously see where this goes. Now, because we've got the Knight of Pentacles here, we've got the Page of Coins here, and you have Saturn retrograde in your 8th house. This could be a time where you really have to start understanding where you are as far as trust. See, Cancer needs to feel safe, right? We all need to feel safe in order to express ourselves, and Cancer is a deeply sensitive sign. And one of the things about you, one of those things that you try to embody or embrace or achieve in this lifetime is that emotional safe place, because that's where you operate best in. That's where you could truly express your love, your vulnerability. And Saturn retrograde in your 8th house has probably caused a lot of separation, a feeling of isolation from people that weren't right? When Saturn tours our 8th house, things that are not of integrity to us seem to disappear. It's a 2nd house, 8th house cusp. And in the beginning, very first day of July, we've got this Mars opposed Saturn. And this is like, what do you really want? What do you desire? And what are you going to do to get it? What are the foundations? And there's this Fool energy that's like, I'm all in. Whatever this is, I want to jump in head first. I've got all these feelings. I've got all of these desires. And it's very whimsical. It's not thinking about the consequences. Meanwhile, the Knight of Pentacles energy is kind of balancing the budget, making sure we have enough money. Did we save enough? Are we prepared? Maybe this is like a travel opportunity, and there's part of you that wants to be like, oh yes, let's go. And then the Knight of Pentacles part of you is like, yeah, but I've got to line up the babysitters, and there's baseball and like all of this stuff, right? And I think that this is that Mars opposed Saturn kind of, what do I truly want, and what am I capable of, and what am I able to invest in at this time? But it's productive. This opportunity, the beginning of July, might feel a little push-pull, maybe some power struggles, but really it's within yourself. And I think ultimately, because the 5 of Swords is in reverse, that this is a sign of real progress. Because you are having these internal struggles, because you're trying to figure out where you are, what you want, what do you want to do next. It's a chance for you to release the resistance. It's a chance for you to start to kind of morph into that Fool energy. And this is Cancer laying down their sword, saying, okay, if I do want to give this an honest shot, if I do want to give this thing a try, then I know there are certain parts of me that I have got to relinquish and release in order for this to be successful. And the Fool energy means we don't know where it's going to go. We don't know where it's going to lead. You know, it could be something as simple as a class. You want to take a class, you've always wanted to take like an acting class or something, and then there's that part of you that's like, yeah, but then I got to like say the lines in front of the people, and like, what if I forget? And this is Cancer saying, to hell with it, to hell with all the things that could go wrong. I'm going to tap into this Fool energy. Now, what I love is this Knight of Pentacles, which is kind of like the face that you're wearing. I feel like this is a face that you're wearing in the outside world. You know, even if this is a relationship dynamic, you might be appearing very cautious, not really, you know, like not putting all the cards on the table, not really saying exactly how you feel. But underneath him is the Moon card. And that's what I mean about this mask that you're wearing, this mask of being cautious, of, you know, weighing your options and considering how this could all work out. And then subconsciously, there's like all of these fears. And I love when the Moon card comes out, because it's the acknowledgement that you're kind of operating in the dark. You don't have the facts. Again, another sign similar to the Fool card. You don't know where this is going to go. You don't know where this is going to lead. You don't even know if you're going to like it. You don't know how this is going to affect all the other pieces and parts of your life. But I love that underneath the Moon card we have the Queen of Cups. And it's almost as if this period of time of the not knowing is really bringing some kind of emotional depth and strength to you, because you're overcoming fears, because there's I'm thinking back to your last reading, which I think was a lot about Cancer, like recognizing their value, right? Not settling for the things they should have never settled for in the first place. And I think that this Knight of Pentacles is a testament to how far you've come in your self-care and self-love. Because ultimately, being cautious, taking things slow, instead of jumping in quickly, is like how self-love works, right? Because I don't think that Cancer is really going to put themselves in any situation where they have to like repeat old cycles. I don't think Cancer is trying to get back with toxic exes or go back to jobs that were really toxic and unhealthy for them. Like, this is a new version of Cancer. And so you're attracting the new things. You're attracting things that meet this vibration. And when you do attract them, when the new jobs come, when the new people, the new partners, the new friends show up, there's a little bit of you that's like, let's just make sure. Let's just make sure, because I know I don't want to repeat those patterns. I don't want to make those same mistakes. But also, there's an element of love, of compassion, of fulfillment. And I have a feeling that this thing that you want to start or to implement or invest in is something that is working to open your heart. Now, there's a level of patience, there's a level of compassion, there's a really beautiful energy here in the allowance. And I think this is allowing things to kind of grow in their own terms, at their own time, without forcing. Because remember, we have this Five of Swords in reverse. And that's kind of all about the faith. I just can't. I love this reading for you, Cancer. So we have the Moon next to this Knight of Cups, who shows up under the Fool card. And again, another indicator that this is love. There's real feelings, there's real compassion and nurturing. And again, this is feeling like the other version of you, the other part of you, Cancer. I'm picking up a very Gemini energy from you guys this month. It's like two versions of self, and which one do you show to the outside world? You know, also indicative of the Moon, like There's a part of us that's wants to connect. We want this love. This is because this comes up. This row is like this. The moon, the Knight of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. And this is all about our wishes and dreams and what we truly want. Now, we've got a lot of planets, personal planets, kind of all making these squares and oppositions to some of the big planets this month. And it's kind of like bringing a lot of activity into the subconscious mind in order to create that expansion realm. And there's some aspects with Neptune, and that's kind of like, but what's the dream? What do you want? Look, we did the things. We did the relationships because we had to do the right things. We took the jobs because we needed to pay the bills. We did those things. And now it's a time of like, what does your heart want? What does your soul require? What's the next phase of your life going to be? And I think for most Cancers, they want something a lot softer, a lot more fluid, where they're able to operate not out of a place of being defensive, but out of a place of being safe, being vulnerable. And I think that's what that Nine of Cups represents. And you may be playing it cautious right now, and if you are, I think it's in a way of defending that dream of what you truly want and desire. Look, I don't see Cancer settling for anybody who isn't going to bring that same amount of passion and love to the table. You know, I don't see Cancers taking pointless jobs right now. I don't see Cancers getting into relationships for any reasons like, you know, like codependency or finances or anything like that. I don't, because all of the Pentacles, it appears to me that you're quite capable of standing on your own. Like, I think we've worked through most of those issues. If you've been somebody who operated from a place of not being enough or not having enough, I think this is the result of what happens when you overcome that. And so underneath the moon, we have the Queen of Cups, and underneath the Knight of Cups, we have the Three of Cups. And I just feel like this whole month is going to be this push or pull between, let's see where this is going, getting really excited over it, and then pulling back your energy. No, it's not time. No, it's not time. Let's not say the words. Let's not express those things. Let's keep it safe still. And yet there's this part of you that's like, yeah, but I just want to jump in. I want to make it official. I want to celebrate this. I want to acknowledge it for what it is. And that's a beautiful thing. Because we have the Five of Swords in reverse, the Nine of Cups upright, and above the Nine of Cups is this King of Wands. And I like this King of Wands. I get a really beautiful energy from this King of Wands, especially if this is like somebody that you're attracting, if this is a person that you're kind of considering back and forth, like, are we, aren't we? Is this official? Isn't it? Like, where is this going kind of thing? I get the feeling that this King of Wands hasn't for 1 second taken his eye off of you. I think he kind of sees you doing this back and forth thing. I get the feeling that he's very in tune to your energy. I think he understands what you're looking for or what your needs are. And because he's showing up as a King of Wands, there's no doubt he can provide those things. There's a desire that comes from this King of Wands. There's almost like a waiting. There's a really intelligent patience that's coming from this King of Wands. And like a knowing. And there's like this weird knowing between the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. There's a lot of action. All these nights do indicate a lot of action, and it's probably a month of like little things happening, little signs making things clearer and clearer. And the King of Wands is just reminding me of like that person who's capable of lighting the path. There's this inspiration that comes from him, who kind of says that anything you want is possible. Your dreams are achievable. And I think for some of you, if this isn't about a relationship, if this isn't somebody else that you're that's attracted to you, I think that this is just that first house, fifth house, ninth house trine of expansion, and the understanding that you create your existence, you create your life. And this is what I mean about starting those new cycles and understanding that you're kind of in charge of what you want to pull in next. What do you want to experience? What do you want your next love to be? What do you want, your next job to be? What do you want your life to look like in 20 years? And this is a reminder to follow your heart, which is absolutely what you have to do. Look, guys, we've got a full moon in Aquarius coming up that's awfully close to the conjunction with Saturn. We've got the sun opposing Saturn this month. There's all of this Leo energy. And then everything's starting to move into Virgo, which is like the whole drive of what you want, what your heart wants, what you desire. It's coming from a good place, and the universe wants you to have it. And the King of Wands wants you to have it. And there's such a beautiful flow of energy between this Knight of Pentacles, this Queen of Cups over here, and this King of Wands. Indicates to me that it's almost going to frighten you how quickly the universe gives you whatever it is you speak into existence. And that's what this whole thing is about. Probably not about the person, right? It's probably not about the job. Like that's the gift, that's the bonus. But what the lesson is about what you are capable of creating and attracting in your life because you've improved your mindset, because you've had this level of expansion, because you've gotten down to allowing yourself to feel what's in your heart and what's in your soul. And it's not about like other people's expectations or the way we were told it had to be. We're breaking free, we're breaking out of these structures and these burdens, and we're allowing ourselves to live more authentically. And because we live more authentically, we're easily attracted to the things that we desire. It's like a magnet. You're like a magnet right now. And honestly, Cancer, because it's your birthday season, because the sun is coming on your moon or your ascendant or whatever setting that you're here for, like I talked about, that vitality, there's that vitality within you that other people can detect and are attracted to at this time. And I think that's exactly the result of this King of Wands and this Nine of Cups. Cancer decided that this is what they want to experience, and the universe hands it to them. No problem. Now, what I do love is clarifying this page of coins is a time to give rather than take, a new moon in Virgo. I do get page of coins and the whole idea of being in service to others. There's a reason why you're going through this. There's a reason why you're learning these lessons. And it's probably not like all about just improving your life. There's other things you're meant to do with this. You know, maybe for some of you, you're spiritual teachers of some sort. Maybe you're just meant to tell your story to other people, like, this is what happened when I started to let go. When, you know, I don't know, I'm getting like Michael Singer's book, like how you have to go through these certain experiences so that you can tell other people your story, because you're probably in a place of healing. You're probably in a place where you can give advice to others, where you can affect other people. And I think your energy is very profound right now anyways. You know, it's very strategic, it's very purposeful, it's very disciplined, but not in a way of like, you know, oh, I need this to work out. It's more of disciplined faith. And I think Virgo is a really good indication of disciplined faith, doing the right things. Virgo's a lot about the integrity and the sharing with others and the good intentions. And I think that for a lot of you, this is a result of your good intentions. Because you've been giving, because you've been doing the right things, the universe is kind of handing you these opportunities. I do also think that there's an element of timing here, which means that most likely, even though we have the Tower here, we have the major disruption. We're probably not going to know exactly how this is going to play out or why this is all happening until Virgo season, right? Until September or late August. We're probably not going to have the giant picture. That makes sense. But that doesn't make it a less important time. And so remember that there's a lot that's coming up for you, also in the form of discernment. There's going to be things in your life that comes up that you're like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. And there's going to be some things where you're like, I want to devote more time to this. I want to do this more. Maybe I want to stop working, 40 hours of overtime every week, and I want to start donating my time or doing some kind of charity work instead, because that speaks to me, because it makes me feel good about myself, because it makes me feel like I'm giving back to the universe. And therefore, there's like this flow within us which helps us to receive. And I think that's what's happening here, because the bottom of the deck, we have this Empress in reverse and the Chariot card. And I think this whole thing is all about you releasing in order to be able to receive. And there might be a little bit of discomfort in the receiving, right? We have this Virgo energy, a time to give rather than take. And there might be a part of this situation. Maybe this is just a very loving person. Maybe this is a very lucrative job opportunity. And there's part of you that's like, whoa, I don't even know if I deserve this, right? Like we do that whole mental thing in our head. We're like, I don't trust this. It's probably too good to be true. And really that's just our subconscious saying, are you sure you deserve it? It might be really igniting this. Well, if I'm so lucky to receive all these things that I want, then how do I give back to the universe? Because that will help you turn the Empress card right side up. When we put ourselves in situations where we're of service to others, when we see the bigger picture, when we see our role in society as a whole and how we're given the opportunity to help raise people's vibrations, and we begin to feel better about ourselves, and we begin to believe that we deserve the things that are being handed to us now, and therefore we're able to receive them. The Chariot card means the train is already moving. Okay, these things have been set, these people have been introduced, these opportunities are already in the works. And there's a little bit of a like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready to make these commitments. I don't know if I'm ready to take all of this on. I don't know if I've decided if I'm worthy enough or not. And you are. And it's not really up to you. The Tower card is kind of clarified by the fire element, desire. And this is all of that energy moving into Leo by the middle of the month, your second house, your self-worth. This is the final chapter. This is that final thing that needs to be worked through before you can really receive the rewards, which I think come closer to Virgo season. But here we have this King of Wands. There's this element of desire here. 7 and 3 breaking down to a 10, which means the end of the cycle. Here we have the Fool card as a 0. This is a wiping the slate clean. This is where we feel brave enough to just go after the things that we want. We feel like we're deserving enough to get it. We start to really bring physical life to those dreams. We start to take action. Like I said, there's a lot of action being taken here. And I think it's funny because we start, and I'll try to have a picture up here so you guys can see kind of the natural progression that happens here. We start with the Knight of Pentacles, which is very, very slow. And then we add love and compassion with the Knight of Cups, right? This is more fluid. We become more open. We start to like really open up and express our emotions and how we're feeling. And then boom, we've got this Knight of Wands, and this is like game on. This is happening. This is your stability, something that you respect and desire and holds a lot of integrity, but also has like this compassion and romance and love, and then all wrapped up in like this adventure, this fire, this passion. And that's why it does embody this 9 of Cups, which is everything that you could ever want and desire, headed right to you on that chariot. Now, I did pull a couple of oracle cards for you guys as well. We got card number 42, Netcaster, preparations come to fruition. This is what I mean. There's going to be parts of you that are doubting that this is really happening. There's going to be parts of you that are like, oh my God, like this can't be real. Like, is it like bloopers TV or something? But it is. And these are the things that you have been wanting for a long time coming to fruition. Now, the Netcaster is kind of like throwing the net out there, making the wish, bringing it in and seeing what's in there. And then, you know, there's that idea of discernment. You might be catching a lot. You might have a lot of attention on you. You might have a lot of people. Like, these nights could be different people. I think everybody's looking at Cancer. Cancer's kind of where it's at. And you bring that net in and you throw back the things that you don't want and you keep the things that you do. And because you're so much clearer on those things, it's all about the quality, right? New moon in Virgo. Like, Virgo's not going to keep the stinky fish. They're not going to keep the things you can't eat that won't flourish. And this is kind of a culmination of all of the progress you've been making. That's what I keep seeing for Cancer, is like this culmination, graduation period after graduation period of like this whole self-growth process. And the Tower card is like moving to the whole next level. And then you got card number 29, coming to life, and card number 30, making a choice. Again, things coming to fruition, things coming to life. There are things happening. There's opportunities headed your way. There are people that want to invest in you, Cancer. These are all very real things. Even though it's going to feel very Neptunian, hazy, all these wishes coming true, it's not going to feel real because it's so different. The contrast is so different from what you've had for a really long time. If you've been in kind of loveless relationships, if you've been in those dead-end jobs, this feels so incredibly different. You could feel all those wishes and desires that you had for all that time really coming true right now. And yet there's this card number 3. Card number 30 breaking down to a 3, also kind of probably connected to this 3 of Cups. And this is about making a choice. Again, for some of you, these nights are very different. For some of you, these are different people you may be choosing between. Not able to kind of fight the desire of wanting to break one of them real, which means, you know, if you're dealing with multiple, I don't want to say multiple partners, if that sounds icky, but if you do have choices in the love department, or if you do have choices in the job, like, you know, you have to pick something, you know, you have to make an investment this month, but it doesn't come from a place of stress. I don't see it coming from a place of stress. I see it coming from natural progression, that the thing that you want also wants you. And that's also a reminder that it doesn't like matter. It's like not about saying the right thing or doing the right thing or looking the right way or impressing the right people. The thing that you want is going to want you back. And there's really not much you could do to mess it up. And there seems to be like this natural progression of choosing what your heart desires. And if there are people that are coming towards you that have a little bit of this and a little bit of that thing, probably best to hold off, because the potential here is that somebody actually comes in that's like the total package. Again, another message to not settle, use your discernment, because Cancer's got to wait for the total package. All right, guys. Really fantastic reading. I had a lot of fun doing it. You know I love you so much, Cancers. Again, happy birthday. I will be back soon for your August readings. Take care, guys. Bye.